Hello there. Today's video goes out to those of you born after 1981. So, you millennials, Gen Z, and Gen Alpha, if for some reason you're watching today's video. This probably doesn't pertain to you just yet. But I wanted to make today's video because I just turned 32 back in November. And this is the fourth or fifth year now where I do not have health insurance because I can't afford it because when you have a regular job, normally your health insurance is included in your in your job, but when you are self-employed you have to buy your own health insurance, and that's super expensive. So a few years back I had uh Medicare, which is like the poor people health insurance, which was kind of great because I could go to the doctor whenever and things were covered, like it was paid for. It was weird. But then as soon as you like make just enough money, you lose that, and then you can't afford your own health insurance. So, but one year I did buy my own health insurance. I paid for it. I think it was like $500 a month or something crazy. And that year I had to get a CT scan, and that CT scan was like $2,000. And of course, I didn't reach the deductible for my health insurance that year, so they didn't pay for that. So I was paying $500 a month, and then I also had to pay out of pocket for a $2,000 CT scan that basically told me nothing was wrong with me. So that took me like 3 years to pay off. But believe it or not, this is not a video about health insurance. I'm just complaining about the state of the world for people our age. I am sick and tired of just everything sucking. Like, if you look back 30, 40, 50 years ago, one person could afford a house. One income families could raise a family, they could buy a car, they could buy a house, and they had money to go on vacation. Now it takes two people and you can barely afford to get a house. I think the average age of a first-time homeowner now is 40 to 50 years old. It's somewhere in that ballpark. Your midlife crisis as a millennial is to buy a house. That's just that should not be the case. It's absolutely insane. It's like this entire generation and below, we can't afford anything. And I've noticed this not just with myself, but like my family members that are similar age to me, my friends that are my age, other people that I grew up with and my that I went to school with, other people I went to college with. Everybody seems to be struggling kind of equally. No one, it's like we're all on this hamster wheel and we're never going anywhere. It's like I had a friend, they bought a house 10 years ago. They were lucky, they bought it right out of high school. And since then, 10 years go by, their house probably went up $100,000 in value over those 10 years. But you know what else has gone up in value over those 10 years? Every other house. So, yeah, your house might go up $100,000, but if every other house also goes up $100,000, guess what? You haven't made any progress because the house that you're about to buy is $300,000. So it's all just a scam. It's like, even when you think you're making an investment in yourself, that investment isn't really getting you anywhere because everything else is also going up in value. So you just aren't making any progress. It's so unbelievably stupid. And I think this all started back when we were kids. I don't know about you guys, but when I was in school, like elementary school, ever since I was in kindergarten, they put it in our brains that, like, you got to go to college. You have to go to college. They basically treated, like, if you didn't go to college, didn't want to go to college, they thought that, like, it was like a taboo thing. Like, oh, you're a piece of shit if you don't go to college. What are you going to do with your life if you don't go to college? So from 5 years old till you graduate when you're 18, they're like, you got to go to college. You got to take AP classes. You got to be prepared to go to college. And they put it in your head that you can do anything you want in the world. Like, once you go to college, all your dreams come true. You can have any career that you want. And then when you get into college, year one, you're 18 years old, they let you take out tens of thousands of dollars worth of loans right off the bat. Like, you can't even buy a beer yet, but you can go $60,000 into debt, no problem. It's an investment, right? But then they don't tell you that like 80% of the career paths that college offers are like useless. And then once you get your useless career, everyone's like, oh, well, you should have known better. You should have known that the career path that we told you you could take is just completely useless and nobody's hiring. And now when you go to college, like look at how many jobs are being replaced by AI every single day. Like you could be actively in college today, and then in 4 years, your job could no longer exist due to AI just making your job obsolete. So, like, how do you stay motivated when you're in that situation? I don't know. Like I went to school for athletic coaching and strength and conditioning because I used to work out all the time. I had a passion for exercise. I wanted to coach other kids and I wanted them to be better. But nobody tells you that like you have to be in the top like 1% of the 1% to make a career out of that, to be a strength and conditioning coach for the college level. So like I very quickly learned that my college degree was useless and I had to pivot and move on to something else. And I know so many other people that also went to college. The people I went to college with are no longer in that field path because like you just can't find jobs. And I know I'm not the only one. There's so many other people that just went to college and it was completely useless. So you have all this student debt. So you go to high school, you go straight into college, you're already at a disadvantage. You graduate college, you have all this debt. You can't afford health insurance because health insurance is super expensive if you're trying to buy it on your own. And even if you do have health insurance, you still can't afford the medical bills because you have to reach your deductible. And if you have an insane deductible, well, that you're still out of pocket thousands and thousands of dollars. It's just it's so crazy. But let's say you want to buy a car, right? Well, if you want to buy a car, well, that's another huge life choice that's going to set you back X amount of years. What, 4, 5, 10+ years, depending on the car you buy. So odds are the car you buy is going to be a piece of crap because you can't afford a nice new car because new cars have expensive payments of like 4, 5, $600 every single month. That's another expense you got to pay. And at least for me personally, it doesn't feel like I'm ever making any progress because like this past year, I've noticed my electricity bill has been going up. I've not been using any more electricity, but guess what? They put in a like a crypto mining plant or an AI plant not too far from where I live. Everybody's electric bill goes up. It's not my fault. I'm not using more electricity. In fact, I'm trying to cut back to save money. But my electric bill randomly one month was like $100 extra. And I was like, what on earth is like, what is going on? Why is this so expensive? And food. I recently looked at my budget and I was trying to figure out why am I spending so much money? It's food. Food is so unbelievably expensive now. It is ridiculous. And people that are like my parents' age and they're like late 50s and older will just tell you, oh, your generation's lazy. It's like, piss off. I know so many people my age and younger that work every single day, but it's like, we see the system. We see what we're on that hamster wheel. It's like, how do you even have the motivation to work hard? Like we're already working hard. We have to. Otherwise, we're like most people my age and younger are still living with their parents. They're still living with roommates in a rinky-dink apartment. They can't afford single like a studio apartment. It's too expensive. So I know a lot of people are just giving up. They're accepting that they're going to live with their parents forever. They're not going to have like a career path where they get a promotion because that's also a lie. You know, you work your ass off at your job, and then it comes promotion time. Then your boss is like, "Oh, sorry, you know, you fucked up once in February of last year, so we're not going to give you a raise." And then when you do get a raise, it's like nothing. Like when I had a normal job, I used to work retail back in college. I used to work at a hospital. And anytime I ever got a raise, we're talking like maybe 25 cents to 50 cents, like year to year. Like that's nothing. The price of living keeps going up exponentially. Your hobbies keep going up exponentially. But you yourself get like a 50-cent raise. How on earth are you supposed to live off of that? And I don't know about you guys, but I'm just getting sick and tired of it. It's like even when you get a lucky break and you're making some progress, you have some savings saved up, finally, like you have a little bit of a chance in this world, and then something happens, like, oh no, your car breaks down. So like last winter, my heater was acting up when it was cold out, so we had to go like 3 weeks without a heater, and we had to use a space heater because the HVAC people were backed up, they were so busy. And then when they finally got here to fix it, they didn't fully fix it, and then they had to come back a second time, and then we were out like hundreds of dollars to fix this issue. And it seems like you never are making any progress, and the government isn't doing squat to help anyone. I'm sitting back and I'm watching everyone my age and younger really struggle to like live the American dream, right? And I'll watch the president, and he'll sit there and he'll throw parties for him and his billionaire friends, and he'll like redo his bathroom in marble, and he'll redo the Kennedy Center with marble, and he'll build a $400 million ballroom that he's like, oh, the people want this. It's like there's so many people that are homeless and struggling, and we can't afford squat, and then our president is like having the time of his life. Something about that just, it doesn't sit quite right to know that everyone is having a hard time in your country, but the man in charge of everybody is just living a life of luxury. He's going on golf trips, he's flying, he's getting free airplanes, he's making all kinds of deals that benefit him. And when it comes to like something that the president wants, that Donald Trump wants, he gets it ASAP. Like if it's something that benefits him or his people in his inner circle, it's like top priority. But if it's something to help the people, oh, you got to trust the process. It takes time for the economy to change. Prices will come down eventually. Like Donald Trump said day one that he was going to lower prices.
Starting on day one, we will end inflation and make America affordable again.
The word affordability is a Democrat scam.
And he made all these promises. And I have a lot of like hardcore MAGA family members. Donald Trump said day one, oh, I'm going to make America affordable again. And here we are a year later, and my family's still blaming Joe Biden. It's like, I can't even fathom this. It's so unbelievably stupid. So like Donald Trump will build himself a ballroom, right? And I'll hear the excuse, oh, that's privately funded. It's, taxpayer money isn't paying for this ballroom. He found donors. So Donald Trump can find himself billionaire donors to donate $400 million for his ballroom for himself, and only the elite get to experience, but he can't find billionaire donors to help donate to make the fucking country better. He can't find billionaire donors to like repair our roads, make our schools better, make our kids smarter. It's like, where are his priorities? It's so fucking stupid. And I'm not just blaming Donald Trump per se. Like Joe Biden sucked too. Like it's all politicians. It's like, what on earth is going on with our government? Like politicians are paid off by these big companies to just ignore things that benefit us, and it just makes them richer. And it's like, how is that legal? How are we putting up with this shit? When are we going to do something to benefit us? Like, I'm so tired of these old fucks that are like 80 years old, sitting in Congress, sitting as our president, sitting in the Senate, and they're making these decisions based off of shit that's 40 years old. And I'll see these politicians and stuff, and they're talking about AI, and they're talking about technology, and you see Donald Trump, and he's sitting there with all these tech billionaires, and he's like, oh yeah, we're going to go all in on AI, and we're going to invest in AI, and we're not going to regulate AI. These politicians don't live normal lives. They don't experience what us as normal people experience on the day-to-day. They don't see that these AI companies are making our prices go up. They don't see that they're replacing jobs. And if they do see it, they don't care, because they themselves are getting richer, and we are just suffering. It's like there is no middle class anymore. It's like you're poor or you're a little bit less poor, or you're just super mega rich and you're just living the life of luxury. And the problem is that when you're poor in this country, you stay poor. And when you're rich, you just keep on accumulating more and more and more and more. But if you're poor, you're literally living paycheck to paycheck, and you have to sit there and decide, okay, do I work overtime this week? Do I spend less time with my family so I can afford my car payment? Can I work overtime so I can afford maybe some health insurance or to pay to go to the doctor? And it's just I'm so sick and tired of how things are. I think we need to stop electing people over the retirement age, and we need to start electing people that are in their at least 30s to 40s so that they have a better understanding of the technology that we're currently growing up with. It's like my parents can't figure out how to unlink their Apple, like their iPhones. They've been linked together for forever. Like if I call my dad, my mom will answer. They can't figure out how to do that, but we have people their generation and older telling us and making decisions based off of like the future of technology. It's so ass backwards, and I hope something changes here soon because I don't know how much longer our generation and below can keep dealing with this. So, I mean, things are bad right now for millennials. I can't imagine how bad it's going to be for Gen Alpha. So, those of you that are planning on going to school, I wish you the best and I hope things get better. And that is going to do it for me. And I will catch you guys in the next video.